On the island of Sodor, there are many rules that not only the engines have to abide by, but people too, and one of the most important ones being, no smoking on trains, as this could lead to not only you hurting yourself, but hurting others, and worst of all, damaging the piece of rolling stock that you're smoking in. This is why the fat director heavily restricted smoking on the island, which poor 1020 would find out soon enough. When one morning, 1020 entered Tidmouth Station, only to find Harwood and Winston head-to-head like two vicious dogs. Oh, hello. What's got you two in a bunch this time? Oh, you're never going to believe this one, 1020, but someone dared to put out their cigarettes on one of the seats in my coaches. What? Are you serious? Of course I am. I've dealt with my own fair share of cigarette smokers. One of them even threw out a cigarette out of my coach's window, while it was still lit. It set a bush on fire, and then Albert came. All this talk about cigarettes and fire is reminding me of the time Henry set ablaze a old roof. Why do I have a bad feeling that will happen again? Please don't jinx it. The last thing I need today is one of my coaches setting flame by some stupid idiots. The worst part about this whole situation is that we can only rely on our guards to stop people with cigarettes from entering. Oh, not on my watch. I have eyes on the back of my tender. No one, under my presence, will be smoking in any of my coaches. And with that, 1020 clanked away, leaving a very skeptical Winston and Harwin. Later that day, 1020 was backing up into the goods sheds in the yards to leave his coaches, but as he was, he saw something very odd. He was just about to leave for the water column when he saw something very strange. The two workmen that were sitting beside him were smoking cigarettes. Oh, not on my watch. And he wheezed them loudly, startling them and making them drop their cigarettes. The two guys were not happy at all. Oh, bloody hell. This stupid steam engine made me drop my cigarettes. Nah, it's chill, man. I know where we can get some more. For cheaper, too. Oh, that's great, man. Lead the way. And they walked away, leaving 1020 appalled. Today's people. I know, it's absolutely disgusting, said a very morbidly sounding voice. It was Albert. He was also leaving his coaches in the yards. What happened to you? 1020 questioned. Well, some genius had the bright idea to smoke in one of my coaches, and when I hit a bump on the rails, he accidentally dropped it, which lit the compartment on fire. The coach nearly was destroyed completely. Now I have to take it to the workshop to be repaired. Bloody hell! Are people that addicted to smoking that they have to do it on trains? Around other people? Someone could seriously get hurt. Oh, I hear you loud and clear, mate. I'm considering talking to the fat director about this. This needs to be stopped immediately. Oh, you definitely should. Earlier when I got here, there were two workmen smoking. But just then, Regaby came around. Oh, all this talk about smoke and ash will ruin me paintwork. Oh, piss off, Regaby, you already look like a load of shit. That's how you sound like. Now scram already. And Regaby puffed away. What a fucking idiot. I know. Hey, are you still taking the post train tonight? Yes? Why? Well, I heard that you're gonna go down the coastal line. I just wanted to warn you that the tracks there are a bit unstable. You should be fine if you go slow, but if you go too fast, then you might fall off the tracks into the sea. So, I'd be careful if I was you. Oh, I definitely will. The last thing I need is a good bath in the sea. Later that evening, 1020 made his way to Knapford Station to pick up the post train. He was very excited to do so, as he had never done the job before. All the guards and porters made sure to load in all the letters and parcels that needed to be delivered that night. And once the guard's whistle sounded, 1020 set off. "1020 soon had to make a stop at Tidmouth Beach. The post train didn't usually stop here, but 1020 had to pick up more letters and parcels. 1020 waited there for a very long time, but he still couldn't leave. It was almost morning. The sky was turning blue. Bother, what's taking so long? There must have been some sort of delay, 1020 thought. But just as he was thinking this, something very suspicious was happening at the back of his train. The two men that 1020 caught earlier that day were there again. They were pretending that they were helping, but when in actuality, they hopped out of the signal box before the station, and they were standing next to the train smoking carelessly. They didn't even notice the spark that fell on the van next to them. But then, there was trouble. "Driver, do you smell something?" "Holy Christ! The van's on fire!" 1020 panicked. "Get the blazes out of here! You'll set the station on fire!" And 1020 quickly rushed off, a bit too fast. Then there was more trouble. The next morning, 1020 was fished out of the water. He felt more cold than hurt. He was taken to the workshops to be inspected, where the fat director came to talk to him. 1020, I know you're sad now, but I want you to know that this is not your fault at all, the fat director comforted. Rest assured, I've made sure those two men will never set foot on my railway again. And you know, 1020, the fat director chuckled, maybe it was lucky you had your accident, as falling in the water put out the flames on the van. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, 1020 shivered, still feeling very cold.